Welcome back to the Dirtyard. Game number 3, the decisive game in this best-of-3 series, and this here is what is on the line. Don't drop it. The Circle City Wiffle Ball Championship here at the Dirtyard Classic alongside Rudy Line. I'm Derek Schultz. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon on the ISC Sports Network. And we have two of the best players not only in this league, but in America facing off. What better way to start the opening inning of the decisive Game 3 than Mike Whitty, perhaps your Cy Young this year, and Will Smithy, who seemingly every year is the MVP of this league. As the Moonshots, a thrilling comeback win in game number 2 to stay alive, 14-13 in walk-off fashion. Thanks in part to Smithy's heroics in the 6th inning, a pair of 2-run homers, and then he was backed by Tyler Gregory, who launched that walk-off over the center field wall to win it, and that's the reason why we're here for game number 3.
I was beckoning Gregory to get to that, and he finally did. I don't think he hadn't hit a homer all day, and there's number 101 on his career after sitting at 100.
But after really flummoxing Will Smithy in game number 1, Whitty does it as well in that opening at bat as Smithy down on strikes.
I really don't know what to expect in this game 3. I mean, with the bonkers game 2 like that, you rarely see 6-run comebacks in the last AB. And obviously a 1-0 game. We've had a little bit of everything for every type of individual. If you like pitching, if you like hitting, you've gotten your dose. This could go either way.
Big swing and a miss there from Gregory.
Neither Whitty or Smithy are going to be at their best. Obviously, they just, threw 80 to 100 pitches in game 1. So velo's going to be down, so they're going to have to be craftier.
Whitty hits the board there. He's picking up where he left off as the first 2 batters for the Moonshots down on strikes. And It's funny, Rudy, I would say, oh, well, this is a pitcher's duel. This will be a quick game. We might have a game that goes 9, 10, 11, 8. I really thought that's what we were in store for game number 1.
Yes,
we were
I
actually
know.
fortunate that game was walked off, I guess, in the 7th. Here's Gerchev, who had a huge game 2. 4 homers, 7 driven in.
And I'm not trying to pile on a guy, especially after he just hit a walk-off bomb, but I believe against Whitty, Gregory's now 0 for 7 with 7 Ks.
You got that right.
Oh, tough day.
Not that many have fared much better in facing Mike Whitty.
Sure. I can say to my own credit, get to brag on yourself when you can, right? Of the one run that Whitty has given up in the last 2 months, it was me.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was he was a little wild to open our game back in the beginning of July and got me into slow pitch count, and I parked it over the left field fence.
So you're the one run, and I mean he's given up hits.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But just, the one
the
run.
one run
in the 40
that
innings,
has made
40
for
plus.
his 2-month ERA of .15. I'm the .15.
Whitty strikes out the side here in the top of the first, and Dylan Jones, his teammate, fired up about that as Gerchev goes down. And 1, 2, 3, go the moonshots.
Whitty hasn't missed a beat, not only throwing strikes, but peppering corners as well.
So we have seen now a cumulative 22 strikeouts between the 2 games, and that is out of 24 batters.
Jeez.
So there was 1 hit from the moonshots in game 1.
3 balls in play.
And I believe that was Will Smithy as the leadoff batter. He's
First
singing.
pitch.
First pitch.
First pitch.
And that is all that Mike Whitty has allowed here in 8 innings of work combined from game 1 and now through the first perfect frame of game number 3.
We were having that MVP discussion on air as we were writing the eulogies and the last rites in that bottom of the 6th. Like, oh, it's Dylan Jones. He comes in relief, gets a relief win. It's 4 home runs, gets the walk-off knock. And now it's like if Mike Whitty comes out here, gets 2 wins and 40 strikeouts, foregone conclusion.
Whitty, yeah. I think that changes. I mean, it would have to be probably another 4 homer game from Dylan Jones.
Yeah.
For you to even consider somebody else. Let's say the Hounds end up winning for you to even consider somebody else, I would say. So that MVP is Whitty's to lose. I think the interesting one is, what happens here if Smithy has more heroics offensively and then backs it up with another good pitching performance. Is he the MVP? Could Alex Gerchev do something in this game for the moonshots?
I think you're the 2 guys at the battery right now, the hitter and the pitcher. They're the picks to click, depending on which team wins. Because
moonshots wins at Smithy, Hounds win it's Whitty, and going into this broadcast, that's probably exactly what we would have said anyway.
Right, we almost played ourselves into somebody else, and again, like the kicker for Whitty, 4 for 6 last game, multiple extra base hits, just a menace on the base paths.
Yeah, and then Smithy with the 2 homers in the 6th. Mm-hmm. But Whitty down on strikes for the for the first time in this game.
Yeah, and just as we were saying, Smithy really kind of looked like in his own head. He was 0 for 4 in that game, and we're like, hey, he's 0 for 4, so what? It's going to be a timely homer, something clutch, and he did exactly what we expected and in a big way and provided 4 of the RBIs in that inning.
And here's Dylan Jones. As I mentioned, 4 homers, 10 driven in. Unfortunately for him, in a losing effort, the wheels came off in the bottom of the 6th. He had only given up 2 earned runs in the first 5 innings because he came on for Blake Voris, who didn't even record an out in his start in game number 2. And as you can see with wiffle ball, it can all fall apart very quickly, and unfortunately for him it did. And also, you got to give some credit to the Moonshots. I mean, this is a very talented lineup, and they were struggling in the middle portion of that game. You knew that they were better than what they were showing. But look at this, a lob pitch here.
Very early. Wind is now blowing from left field to right field, not out to left as it was for DJ in the first 2 games.
And those are the 2 demo pitches there.
DJ not really known going to right field, but if he can get it, that's going to die. Caught by Plord.
Really nice play by Plord. And he didn't damage the wall in the process. So second out of the inning as Jones flies out.
Not flood insurance, Plord insurance. We need Plord insurance out here. Plord's a great team guy. He had not been able to play a ton of games this year. I know we had, speaking of flooding, all the rain that we've had this summer rained out a lot of our Sunday game slates. And Plord is a bartender. He works a lot of weeknights. A lot of the Moonshots games had to get moved to weeknights. Plord maybe showed up for 5 games on Sundays when he was available. Another camera hit, so we've hit the over. We've hit the over.
We hit 4.
And Plord, he's not hitting today. He's just playing defense. He's long, he's lanky. He's a good defender out there.
Here's our 4th camera hit to hit the over.
Courtesy of a walk-off. We wouldn't have gotten the over
right.
if it was a 2-0 sweep by the Hounds.
Big swing and a miss there from Kobe Taylor as Smithy has battled back here to make this a 3-2 count. And another big swing and a miss, and that's the inning. Clean slate through the first, and the frustration showing for Kobe Taylor and the Hounds as we are scoreless through 1, heading to the second inning. Dirtyard Classic Game 3 here on the IC Sports Network. Welcome back to the Dirtyard. We're on the near south side of Indianapolis. Beautiful late summer afternoon here on the IC Sports Network alongside 2022 NWLA National Champion and a Circle City Wiffler himself and longtime veteran and Rudy Line. My name is Derek Schultz. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, I had promised you that I was going to shout out our crew, and we'll have the chance to do that in this inning. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss another Mike Whitty strikeout, I guess. But we have a full and talented and awesome ISC Sports Network crew who deserves a shout-out at some point, and just letting everybody know that I'm promising that here at some point soon in this inning. Dylan Downen stepping in.
I mean, that's what all the fine print at the end of all the sports broadcasts are for, right? Shouting out all the beautiful people behind the scenes.
Well, like somebody like Jordan Shue, he's
yes.
a great game director, and he does this because he loves it, but he also does it because, you know, there's an ego there as well. He wants to hear his name on the broadcast, so I want to make sure that I take
right, because the guy behind the scenes and not in front of the camera with the voice being heard is the ego.
No, he's great. Selfless guy. As down and down on strikes for the first out of the inning. But Jordan Shue, the game director, Wes Wolf in our crew as well. Shout out to Bailey Chamberlain. He's on replay today. And our cam ops, Rob Lynch, Charlie Hammock out in first, and Eldon Wheeler out in center field. Great crew. This is the A-team, I would say, for the IFC crew. For being a full-time employee there for a couple of years, I could say that this is about as A-team as it gets for one of our crews.
And this is like a first-come, first-serve event for everybody, right? Like, hey, who wants to work on a Sunday at a wiffle ball field?
I know Eldon's been here before. Obviously, Jordan has, and Wes was here the first year. I'm not sure. And Charlie did the first year as well. Okay, so we have a couple of returnees, but also a couple of first-timers. I don't think Rob has been here, has he? Rob Lynch?
He has not.
I don't believe he has. So getting to experience the greatness of the Dirtyard as Smithy goes down on strikes. And Mike Whitty, Rudy. He's just been untouchable. So things can change, right? It's wiffle ball. We saw things change quickly in game number 2, but he just looks locked in.
He's throwing so hard, and he's being around the edges of the board close enough to force swings and misses like that from T. Greg. But the wind, because he's throwing so hard, is not that's going to be a tough play. It checks up. He's in there.
It's going to be a single. A rare single, just the second one that Whitty has allowed so far as Gregory reaches here with 2 out.
And just as I was talking about the wind, it's now like shifted blowing in to our faces here in the booth. And that resulted in that hit for Gregory, but I was thinking more along pitching lines. If the wind adjusts, how is Mike going to have to adjust? But he has so much velo, I don't think he does. He just throws it through the wind.
I think it's far more interesting for somebody like Alex Gerchev, who put 3 over the left field wall in the last game, and now it looks like the wind's blowing in a little bit from left field.
And quickly down 0-2. against Whitty. A frustrated Whitty after giving up a knock, and he spikes one in the dirt there. Plord on to run for Gregory again. Again, not in the lineup. Players not in the lineup can run courtesy style for any player in a particular inning. So he could courtesy run for Gregory this inning. He could run for Gerchif next inning if he wanted to.
And a big strikeout for Whitty as that single from Gregory wasted. 6 strikeouts, 6 outs for the Hounds so far as we head to the bottom frame of the second inning. I want to thank some of our great sponsors who make the Dirtyard Classic broadcast on ISC Sports Network possible today on our terrific network. AmeriFence, they've got the biggest banner, so why not start with them? They built that fence out there at this beautiful ballpark here at the Dirtyard. AmeriFenceUSA.com, 317-571-1200. For 4 generations, AmeriFence has beautified and secured the properties of Indianapolis with their custom handcrafted fencing. They work directly with mills to manufacture and fabricate fencing at their factory and warehouse right here in the great state of Indiana. See the difference a wood fence installation can make in your residence or business. Call them at 317-505-0447 or get a free quote now at AmeriFenceUSA.com. They serve Indianapolis and the surrounding areas. This is a surrounding area of Indianapolis. We're about 4 miles, 5 miles from downtown, but you would never know it. Like, there are roosters crowing and chickens, and this near South Side, Rudy, I know it's near and dear not only to your heart, but also to a lot of the players here in CCW, all these UIndy grads that we have that participate in this league, calling it home here on Epler Avenue. It's a neat portion of town. It's in the 15 years that I've been in Indianapolis, it's kind of the one portion of town that hasn't dramatically changed.
Yes, yeah.
And I mean that in a good way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's very
in an endearing way.
Very. It's like, again, you're basically in the shadows of the Chase Tower or the Salesforce Tower, however you deem it. It's kind of like the stipulation between, is it Deer Creek? Is it Ruoff? Is it
I still call it like the Bank One Tower out of here.
Yeah. Right. So you're in the shadow of downtown. But there's still like this small town feel. Everyone in like the Perry Meridian School District, whether you're at Southport or Perry, know each other. I'm not from here. I've kind of been adopted into it. Very blue collar area.
There's a South Side pride.
Yes.
I think you get here, and that's what's kind of neat about Indianapolis. Regardless of where you are, you get that pride. As Voris scores a leadoff walk here to start the second inning.
Back in the bucket hat for Game 3. Served him well in Game 1.
We have been following the hat choices so far this afternoon.
This is bucket tracker, hat tracker. Brings up top of the order with Whitty. 4 hits in Game 1, went down on swings, I believe, in his first at bat. Smithy velo's down a little bit, but for the most part unfazed with the workload. He's a man who's greatly motivated by losing and challenges and overcoming hurdles, so I'm kind of terrified to think if he is to lose 2 games in a Dirtyard Classic, what he's going to be motivated to do in the winter off season and come back next year. None of us may stand a chance.
Waves at strike 2 and strike 3 as he was pretty well fooled there by Will Smithy at that at bat, 1 away.
Ball in play, back to the mound.
But that's going to be
moves the runner.
An easy out. Voris does move to second in scoring position, but Dylan Jones has made contact twice, but he has failed to reach twice. Now 0 for 2 here in game number 3.
Good wheels from Voris out there. If Kobe can find a way to not hit an atom ball at a defender, Blake's probably going to score with his speed.
That was trying to take a 2-0 swing right there for Kobe Taylor. He got into one, towering homer, probably the biggest shot that we saw all day today in game number 2.
Regardless of base runners on, you could say, a 2-run swing. All of his swings are at least 1-run swings. He does not cheat himself. He is again former D1 hitter. He is here to mash, and everyone knows his role.
It's the 1-2.
Another one.
Fought it off.
No, I don't know if this guy's ever heard of a 2-strike approach. I don't see him Rod Carew choking up anytime soon. Nope.
Swing and a miss. Down on strikes, and that'll do it for inning number 2. So Voris stranded on second, and we are scoreless through 2. Game number 3, the decisive game of the Dirtyard Classic here on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Welcome back, game number 3 of this best of 3, the 2023 Dirtyard Classic here on the ISC Sports Network. We're here to determine the champion for the Circle City Wiffle Ball League here in Indianapolis, and appreciate you joining us, whether you're watching on ISC Sports Network, maybe you're watching on the Circle City Wiffle Ball Twitch channel or any other of the socials that we have out there. YouTube, I know it's on ISC app. We appreciate you joining us as that one hits the board for strike 1 from Mike Whitty as Dylan Dowden steps in. Still wearing his Yankee hat with pride.
Yeah.
Although many Yankee fans, at least the ones I know, this one included, have slunked back into apathy with the team this year.
There's pride, but probably some tinges of shame in there too.
At this point, it's just avoiding last place and finishing ahead of the Red Sox and keeping the winning season streak alive, which dates all the way back to the strike-shortened year of 1994.
Are you fed up with Cashman?
It's just time for a change.
Yeah.
As Dowden goes down on strikes.
That's the thing.
It's time for a change.
He's been writing the same script for the roster and lineup. It's just like guys who hit tanks but don't hit contact, and they're either like recycled players out of their prime in the bottom of the order, and then it's like trying to piecemeal around Judge and Stanton.
Smithy got a piece of that. Whitty tried to make a play at it, but it ends up landing foul. Yeah, it's just one of those things where he's reached his expiration. He's past his past due date. And thanks for the memories and thanks for the rings. But those are ancient history now.
Yeah.
You know, the Yankees have – it's not even necessarily the championships, Rudy, that I think grinds Yankees fans' gears. It's the fact that they've only been to the World Series once in the last 20 years. And that's a long time to go with just one pennant.
So 03 lost to the Marlins in 2010,
2009
beat the Phillies,
and that was it. And they've lost a bunch of times in the ALC. I think they've lost 8 times in the ALCS in that span.
Shout out my Tigers.
And, you know, they had a 99-win season last year, and they've won 100 games a couple of times. But and they've run up against better Astros and Red Sox teams. You know, this is a Houston, really, dynasty that has been going on. Got into that one.
Oh, another topspin ball.
But it goes all the way to the wall, and she held to a long single.
It had the height as it was approaching second base, and then it just dipped at the very end. I think it eclipsed that 8-foot-high fence and then dropped.
The wind has been very tricky today.
Swirling right now.
It's kind of moved around, and it's been almost like an inning-by-inning basis of what exactly it's doing, but that's the first time we saw just a medium-high ball die. I think a lot of the high ones that have been hit up into the air are the ones that have been killed.
And that's obviously the firmest ball we've seen hit off Whitty, the first barrel, if you can call a thin yellow stick a barrel. And maybe that'll pay off and be contagious for the rest of the Moonshots lineup. You just got to see one hit the bat firmly. Like, that's better. They're seeing it. They're finding it.
Better than game 1, that's for sure, as T. Greg pops out for the second out here of the top of the 3rd inning. And in steps Gerchef. 4 homers in game 2. Bunch of strikeouts in game 1 and game 3 so far, and that's pretty much across the board the case for the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in this Mid-City Moonshots lineup.
He called him on check there. I think he did go. I don't think Gerchef agreed with it, but I do. Gerchef, interesting swing. Great different pitch there from Whitty. Ball bounces all the way back to him. He's like, I like that one.
Gerchef just tosses the bat aside in frustration. What are you going to do with a pitch like that? Mike Whitty, as you see here, he is locked in. And through 3 innings so far, has held the Moonshots scoreless here in this decisive game 3. In fact, we're now 10 innings into Mike Whitty's afternoon, and he is unblemished with just a pair of hits to show for it. It's been an incredible pitching performance, no doubt, for Mike Whitty so far.
I think the slow start in Game 2 for Smithy, starting that 0 for 4, and then getting some good cuts on those homers to fuel the comeback, and then now he's barreled one off of Whitty, and look for that to light a fire under Smithy. He is definitely a momentum hitter, and with where that ball landed in center, it means he's staying through the ball. He has a great opposite field, inside out kind of Derek Jeter-esque swing. And now that the wind is blowing that direction, that may be his mindset. Hey, stay deep, stay short, inside out. You hit one in the air to right, it might go, and that may win yourself a championship.
Here's Blake Voris, who, and I'll say this as a compliment in an endearing way, has, I think, kind of been annoying to the Moonshot so far this afternoon, and his ability to just find ways to.
Well, that's his personality type. Yeah, he's just annoying.
And he's going to do it again here. Voris decides to hold to a single, but that's a leadoff base runner here for the Moonshots. He's had a very underrated afternoon so far in just his ability to find ways to get on base, and that's been the name of the game for the Hounds, just churning out base runners.
It would be a travesty if he retires. I know I've talked about it kind of ad nauseum today, but he's still got plenty of prime years. He's gravitated as a manager and now into a role player, but he is a premier role player for sure.
There's Mike Whitty, 1 on, no out, facing a 2-0 count now. Now 3-0, so the first time that Will Smithy has even flirted with trouble here so far early in Game 3.
Ooh, that did hit it the slightest amount.
Wow.
Big strike.
Able to nick the board there and avoid the 4-ball count.
If he does get ball 5, I think he's going to take the walk. And because DJ, he's taking 2 good cuts and put the ball in play twice. And with their speed, Blake and Whitty on base. Full count now. DJ puts one in play. You just hope for the best and maybe score a ground out run at minimum.
There's a really big pitch here and a big sequence in this game.
Oh, wow. Did not miss by much. He's going to take it. He's going to take it, just as I thought.
And I think with no outs, that's probably the right approach.
Yep.
You put 2 on, and also it's not like Dylan Jones has been a slouch this afternoon. 4 homers in Game 2. Now, albeit none of those came against Will Smithy.
Even a ball in play, moving runners to second and third would be huge with 1 out.
That's what it's about right now. Just manufacture something. Scratch something across.
Wow.
Is that going to reach?
That did reach.
That's a fair ball.
Had enough topspin. This is incredible.
I think Smithy got caught in between there where he was, do I kill it or is this a play for me?
I think he was trying to kill it. It just took such a big hop. You really, again, stuck is the good word for it. You have to field it cleanly and just hope that someone's filling in behind you.
So a single there for Dylan Jones.
With no outs. So Will's really going to have to nut up here and miss some bats. This would be an incredible traffic jam to get out of with all the bases loaded here.
And another big spot here for Kobe Taylor, who has dealt with a lot of frustration today. He's made some good contact, and outside of a towering home run, doesn't have a ton to show for it this afternoon. Big swing
chased
on a pitch that
again. He does not cheat himself. And with no outs, you're probably okay to be free swinging. But oh wow, switches to the riser. You're gonna hear that in the plate mic as the bat gets chucked into the backstop netting.
And a huge strikeout there for Smithy.
Yep.
And a second strikeout of the day for Kobe Taylor.
Now Voris, it's the polar opposite of Kobe. Voris is just contact, put the ball in play, like you said, be annoying.
Draw a walk.
Yeah,
do whatever it takes.
Kobe's trying to steal your birthday by annihilating a ball into the next county.
Voris looks at the first 2 balls.
And this is honestly, Blake is probably the guy you want at the plate in a situation like this. 1 out, bases loaded.
Yeah, I think he's going to make him hit the board there. I think that was a take the whole way. And Smithy delivers 2-1. Bases juiced with Hounds here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Up and in.
As that one misses.
Now, if Blake is able to put the ball in play and it's just like another top spin dribbler back to Will at the mound, Will's going to snag it and try to get the runner at home.
And we're to a 4-ball count now.
You know, if it's ball 5, the run is getting walked in.
Is this a take the whole way, Rudy?
If it's 4-1, yes. Oh, my goodness.
And he walks in a run. Hounds on the board, 1-0. Wow. Great at bat by Voris to force one in. And it's funny, Rudy, because in game 1, we never really had a suspenseful situation. You know, it was just the game was suddenly over. It was suddenly, it was 2 hits, and then that was it. This is the first what I think would qualify as a suspenseful situation for either side with Smithy and Whitty on the mound, as the base is obviously still loaded here for Whitty.
I never would have envisioned the go-ahead run in a 0-0 game to be walked in. Now, again, credit to the Hounds for putting balls in play, getting a couple knocks, and then again, Forrest just being a pest, and he's got the go-ahead RBI in this do-or-die game. I do certainly hope for the purity of the game. I would love to see the Moonshots tie it, or at least, you know, the Hounds get a base hit to score a run. So if we see another 1-0 game, it's like, oh, it was walked in. That deserves better between these two great teams.
I will say, and this is a compliment to Mike Whitty,
yeah.
A 1-0 game with him on the mound feels like 10.
It does. It really does. Will's starting to lose it a little bit. I don't know if the monkey's jumping on his back with the exhaustion here after well over 100 pitches.
And then putting the offense on his back there. And
that's another run.
At least one.
Oh, out there, though. Good play to snag and tag.
Really nice play by Plord to at least get something out of that. Another run for the Hounds, and you don't want to concede the run, but could have very easily been 2-0. Bases still loaded with nobody out.
RBI single there for Whitty. Good tracking that pitch. Look at the leap by Voris. Now, on that tag play, just to be clear, this isn't an Alex Rodriguez smacking the ball out of your hand situation in the ALCS back in the day. If that ball were to be lost possession on the tag attempt, he would still be out because a tag is considered a peg.
Sure.
But strong hands from Plord out there.
They decided to walk him,
Using their one. That's probably the right choice, considering Taylor could really make this hurt, though. You just hope he doesn't run into one with 2 outs. Base empty.
And it's all, wiffle ball, but you have to take it a little bit personally here for Taylor. You just hope he doesn't press too much at the plate, because I feel like he's been maybe pressing a little bit too much.
Yep. I don't even know, like, in the moment, in the box, between the white lines that he's pressing. It's not until the result of the at-bat, because he's being him. He's cutting. Oh, whoa!
Reiser got a little bit loose there, to say the least, from Smithy. So the count goes to 2-1.
I believe it's 1-2.
He
took one, and there was a foul. A little foul check swing. 1-2. Oh.
That one just missed the board. Or did it hit the board?
No, it did hit the board,
It
yeah.
hit the very, very side of the board there.
Umpire House was on top of it, and there's the frustration with the bat toss once again.
And another strikeout for Kobe Taylor, but damage done. 2 really big runs for the Hounds to end the 3rd. We head to the 4th. Hounds lead it 2-0. Game 3 of the Dirtyard Classic here on the ISC Sports Network.
Hi there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we do Query and Schultz on ISC Sports Network. And Derek, unlike Ted Lasso, we have a 3rd season.
That's right. Season number 3 right now, ISCSportsNetwork.com.
Are they doing a 3rd
You can
season
see
on that show?
episodes on Comcast 81 as well, Mondays at 7:30. I'm talking about our show, Jake, this beloved show that people tune into every single week. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, so many ways to watch Query and Schultz every Monday, 7:30. Tune in and hang out with us.
And you don't have to be a goldfish. You'll remember everything we say.
Welcome back to the Dirtyard. Game 3 of the Dirtyard Classic. Hounds put 2 very important runs on the board in the bottom of the 3rd and lead it 2-0. So we head to the 4th inning, and at some point today, they are going to have to get to Mike Whitty. He has thrown 10 shutout innings so far this afternoon, yielding only 2 hits I got to do the math, Rudy, for the strikeouts. It was 19 in
Yep.
game one. Let's see what we have so far here. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. He has 25 strikeouts this afternoon. So he has faced,
My.
I believe, 30 batters and struck out 25 of them.
So 2 balls in play. 3 balls in play for this game with the 1 hit from Gregory. Or no, they got 2 hits, correct? Yeah, Gregory and Smithy on the ball to center.
That's right.
Oh, that's cruel.
And here is Dylan Dowden. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Make it 3. You just got to wonder, does Mike Whitty ever get tired? Is he ever going to labor? Is he going to get to, Will labored a little bit, got to a couple lob pitch counts in 1 inning.
And this is really, outside of a lob pitch situation.
Oh, it's dying again. Will's all over him, though.
Yeah. And he's just shrugging his shoulders. He can't even really understand it. It's the second time that's happened to him in this game where he's been locked in on a pitch from Whitty, and both times the balls have just died. They've resulted in long singles.
And that's There's
the reaction there. He's like, what do you want me to do here?
Yeah. It's a la 1992 Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Except the opposite result. You're bummed instead of excited.
Shrugging his shoulders.
But Mike throws so hard that even making solid contact, it dents the ball, as we've seen a couple times. Oh my goodness!
3 pitches there.
Changing arm angle. This is just Tyler Gregory abuse. Like, Mike, that guy is a father. Like, come on.
Tyler Gregory, a good wiffle ball player too. He had a monster year.
Just being mean. Just being a bully.
It's a 455 hitter right there.
Some would say that Mike Whitty is Tyler Gregory's daddy at this point in the game.
And here's Alex Gerchev. 349 in his own right this season.
Oh.
Had a big game too, but has yet to solve Mike Whitty. He has struck out in all 7 of his at-bats against Whitty.
Took some off on that last pitch to get Gerchev out front. And that's 3 quick outs, even after the single from Smithy.
That was Pedro Martinez 1999 All-Star game right there from Mike Whitty.
Absolutely.
We head to the bottom of the 4th. Hounds still lead at 2-0, putting up a 0 after putting up 2 runs in the top half of the inning. I want to continue to thank all of our great sponsors for making this broadcast possible today on the ISC Sports Network. That list includes Perfectly Manicured Turf, Lawn, and Landscape. They're Greenwood's one-stop shop for all things landscaping. Founded in 2015, PMT has always been dedicated to making lifelong relationships with their customers. In their industry, it's very common to only care about the customer for the season. We say no to that mindset. We value our customers and hope to serve them for many years to come at Perfectly Manicured Turf, Lawn, and Landscape. 317-910-1257. Smithy back on the mound. He had trouble finding the board in the 3rd inning, giving up 2 runs on a walk and then an RBI single by Mike Whitty, which actually resulted in an out and ended up working out, I guess, in the Moonshots' favor, limited the damage that very easily could have been maybe a 3 or 4-1 inning. But
yeah.
Blake Voris, you mentioned this could be his final game of wiffle ball here in this league. Had a couple of really big at-bats in that inning. Had an RBI via a walk.
And if this is his swan song, it just dawned on me, he was on the Moonshots for the past 2 championships. He could end his career on a 3-peat.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. 4th Dirtyard Classic for him.
He's out ahead early in the count again.
And as you can see, the Moonshots were the first ever back-to-back champions. And so obviously we've also never had a 3-peat.
You're seeing, if you look at the banners between 17 and 22, you've got 3 champions, each getting 2. Noodlers, 8 balls, and Moonshots. It's almost like the 2000 to 2020 AFC.
Yeah.
It was just
right.
Manning, Brady, and Roethlisberger going to the Super Bowl every year for 20
right.
years.
There's another walk for Voris. When are we going to see a Yackers banner up there?
Oh, man. We were so close. We were so close to get it. Now, am I happy I don't have to face Mike Whitty twice? Yeah. But, yeah, we were right on the cusp. We made it in 2019 and got swept by the 8 balls. Kind of caught lightning in a bottle that year. Always the underdog Yackers. Always underestimated. In true Rudy fashion.
That's right.
I'm just still waiting to get carried off the field, you know.
You know what? Yackers kind of the Denver Nuggets of this league,
Huh.
where
Yeah.
you know you keep kind of knocking on the door, but eventually you end up breaking through.
Got to.
You've at least made one finals appearance, so maybe you're the Pacers.
Yes.
Let's go with
Yeah.
that instead.
Sure. I would
He looks at a
say
strike.
my player comp is certainly not Nikola Jokic. Even in personality, like it's been
Yeah.
so funny seeing the memes come out about him where he doesn't give two craps about winning an NBA title, but he's jumping up and down when his racehorse in Serbia wins a race.
It's all business for him.
Oh my gosh, weird guy.
There's some guys competitively, like, you wonder if they get any pleasure out of what they're doing
Yeah.
because it's just, you know,
Yeah.
I think Kobe in a way was like that, where you just, I keep mentioning Kobe on this broadcast, where either you win it or it's a failure, that sort of thing.
Job's not done.
Yep.
Job's not done. To our Serbian watchers, we
appreciate
do.
you tuning
yeah,
in,
we
yeah.
appreciate you tuning in Indiana.
I would say good afternoon in that language, but
Right,
I don't
yep.
know it. Woody frustrated there, an audible "come on, Mike," as he goes down on strikes.
Right by the backstop mic. So if someone clip that and make that into a meme.
Kind of a half smile on his face, though.
Yeah.
He knows that they're in the catbird seat with the two runs, with the way that he's pitching
What
right now.
a strange phrase that is. I don't think I've ever used that in my lifetime.
Catbird?
Could you
Yeah.
explain that to me? Catbird seat.
Let me look it up.
You're gonna Urban Dictionary that?
I think it has something to do with the cat being on the high ground, looking down on the
Okay.
birds and hunting. But let me
Interesting.
look. Catbird
Okay.
seat.
Something about Tweety Bird being in a cage.
I'm going to look that up right now. Well, it means in a superior, advantageous position. We already know that. Why do they call it a catbird seat?
right. Oof.
Let's see.
Big cut by
It
Jones.
derives from the secluded perch on which the gray catbird makes mocking calls. So I'm completely wrong. It has nothing to do with cats at all.
Okay.
It's a catbird perches
Mocking
somewhere.
calls.
Yeah.
So
And
he's a
there you go.
heckler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think I remember hearing the phrase "look a gift horse in the mouth" for the first time like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
That's a good one. You know, sometimes you end up becoming your dad over the years
Oh,
and saying
man.
things he does. And I caught myself telling my son, now you're cooking with gas.
Yes.
When he was doing something. And
Now
I'm
you're
like, oh,
cooking with
my
gas.
God. Because my dad, obviously, is a baby
Yeah.
boomer. And that was a commercial
about-
campaign back in the 60s.
What about bacon grease? You ever cooking with bacon grease? Or
I've
just
never,
gas?
never
No?
had never
Okay.
had cooking with bacon grease.
No.
Going to be a lob pitch here
Yes.
for Dylan Jones as we get back to wiffle ball and get away from idioms.
Idioms and Serbian basketball stars. Jones could really bust this thing open, but he decides
Rips
to
it.
flare it to right. That's going to score a run easily. Blake is motoring in the bucket
There he
hat.
goes.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
oh,
gonna
he's,
hold it.
uh-oh. Oh,
Now
what
he's
a
held
play.
up. Wow.
What a
Yeah,
play.
He got halfway in between, and he's very mad at himself because that's a really, really big out. And
Blake just should have kept running. Got into a pickle there with Jones pushing three. I think might have been a base running error on Voris's part. Well struck to right. Voris should have just kept motoring, trying to score. And if you get stuck between bases, you just need to go.
Yeah, I think he started going home because he knew that behind him DJ was going, and
Right.
maybe that changed things up. So maybe the communication there
That's just
was what
gotta
hurt that.
know who you are, know thyself, and you get a ball to right with no fielder over there, and you got to think score from first. And if you get pegged at home, so be it. But you got to force Smithy to try to hit you.
There aren't going to be many opportunities to do that.
Exactly.
Would have been, I think, more devastating if this was still a scoreless game, but still, yeah, more runs the merrier for sure.
Oh, buddy, we need some
A lost bat there from Taylor.
stickum. Pine tar and wiffle ball does happen, not in this league, thankfully.
Taylor now 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts as Smithy gets out of the inning and strands Dylan Jones on second. We are through 4. Hounds lead it 2-0 here on the ISC Sports Network. Hounds unable to tack on another one there, and they had an opportunity in the 4th inning, so it remains a 2-0 game. But Mike Whitty is 6 outs away from earning the Hounds' first ever championship in Circle City Wiffle, and I think undoubtedly at this point, Rudy, MVP honors for the Dirtyard Classic.
For sure.
Capping a fantastic season for Mike Whitty. Stepping in is Dylan Dowden.
Now, did that ball to right give you any flashbacks to last Dirtyard Classic with the relay peg at third that
That's
also
right.
got Voris?
Yeah. That
Good
was
cut by Dowden.
a very, very big play,
Yeah.
which I had forgotten about. I know you rewatched the games this week, which was smart of you to do. I was kind of just going off memory.
Yeah, that was a well-played ball, hit into right, collected by Connor Morris, and he just threw a frozen rope to third, and they pegged Voris. And
Perfect
now,
replay, perfect peg, really.
Yeah,
Just
and
two
then-
perfect throws.
now Voris getting caught again, but between third and home.
We'll see if it ends up costing him. As long as Whitty keeps hitting the board, I'm not sure it's going to matter, but Dowden now facing a 2-2 count.
Oh, good cut. Just
Swing and
into
a
the
miss.
board.
Fouls it back onto the board for a strikeout, 1 away here in the 5th.
Dowden's starting to swing it a little more confidently. I'll be curious. He gets one more, maybe 2 more at bats in this game. If he can almost take that kind of pesky, annoying approach that Voris has been putting out and just get on base for Smithy.
It's interesting how similar, Dowden and Voris have been. It's kind of been as they've gone in the lineup, that's how the offense has gone. The big innings have been led by them getting on base.
Yep. Oh, my gosh. 2 on the top edge of the board, back-to-back, almost in the identical spot.
Smithy whacks that one away in frustration. Now down 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Just identical pitch there with a little bit more rise off the board.
Now 1 for 4, I should say, and 3 strikeouts for Will Smithy. As Tyler Gregory steps in, he's 1 for 3. Reached on a single and on a walk.
Gregory just looking for some sign of hope. Oh, look, a ball. What a concept. What a novel idea. Mike Whitty threw me a ball.
Swing and a miss there
Tied
from
him
Greg.
up.
And the Moonshots down to their final strike here in the 5th.
Oh,
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mike Whitty scoreless again through 5. Hounds up to bat in the bottom of the 5th, coming up here with a 2-0 lead, but more strikeouts. It's been an incredible performance this afternoon for Mike Whitty. Just in this game, he has struck out 13. So you add that on to game 1, 32 strikeouts. 32 strikeouts for Mike Whitty, and that's out of 36 batters that he has faced.
My goodness.
So 3 singles, but
Loving it.
we're going to do an overlay here. Our great folks at ISC, and you can see how crazy the movement is here. Just in the comparison of the pitches. I don't know, Rudy. I said early in this broadcast, maybe Joe Schmo's watching this thinking, I can hit that. Probably, if you've spent the last 4 hours with us, chances are you're not thinking that anymore. At least not when it comes to Mike Whitty.
I hope not. Otherwise, you need to open up some rooms at an insane asylum.
Here it is in slow motion, and you can see those 2
Jeez.
pitches just.
I mean, that riser, that's right in Gregory's
Completely
kitchen,
different.
ties him up, and then the other one just darts down out of the zone, drops off the table.
And all he can do is kind of meekly wave at it.
Yeah. There's always that debate, like, if you're given 100 pitches against a major league pitcher, are you going to even make contact with a single one? A lot of people, this is like a water cooler debate that a lot of people like to have. I'd like to think I'd at least be able to foul tip one.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah. I
But-
don't have any confidence at all that I would be.
Yeah,
able to
I'm
foul tip
not
one.
I'm probably not putting one in play
No.
in between the white lines.
The other one that is a hard pass for me is if you were given 20 rushing attempts, could
Yes.
you rush for like 2 yards or I don't know the
Oh.
exact verbiage there
That one
against an
just-
NFL defense.
That just sounds too painful to even bone jarring.
I mean, you know what? If you were
Hits.
Mike Whitty and you were fast I would take that bet because maybe somebody would open up a hole for me and I'd be able to sneak out a little bit, but I just wouldn't want to take the hit because I would die. My frail body would explode on impact. 3-2 here on Voris. Puts it into play, but right at Smithy.
Another pesky ball in play.
For the first out of the fifth.
Results in an out this time.
Voris has had a knack for hitting it where the fielders aren't, but in that case he hit it right at Smithy, the pitcher, one away. Here's Whitty. He's been the hero on the mound. He's also swung a nice bat so far this afternoon.
Yep.
Had a couple of big hits, including a 2-run single in game number 2. He's got an RBI single today. He also reached on a walk here in game 3. Swing and a miss there to go down 0-2.
I don't know if you noticed it in the pre-game stats in our show sheet here, but the top 3 hitters in the Hounds, there's this dispersal or balance of offensive production, at least from an RBI run-producing standpoint. Like they're all 3 of them hovering around that 19 to 20. Whereas you look at the Smithy, Gregory, Gerchef, Dowden, there's, it's top-heavy with the top 2. So it's more of a top-to-bottom complete lineup, and that's no disrespect to the bottom 2 guys for the moonshots, but
Dowden's job is to get on base.
It's
almost driven in.
Yes, it's almost a mentality, I think, for the Hounds.
Yeah. Whitty this season, 19 driven in. DJ, 20 driven in. Kobe Taylor, 19 driven in. So it's about as close as it gets, and then Voris at the bottom of the lineup with 6 RBI.
And the guy missing today, Jake Sprinkle, one of the pitching coaches for Franklin College baseball, he would fill in that 4-hole quite often when Blake wasn't available.
Yeah, 9 RBI. As Whitty takes a walk.
So yeah, even if you combine those stats and just call them the nameless, faceless 4-hole hitter, that's 15 RBI. So again, another even dispersal.
Rudy, I'm going to ask you another strategy question.
Sure.
Whitty there took a walk, and they've got a 2-0 lead, so maybe that's why he feels that way. But the flip side of that is I've got a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
Why not just swing away? But maybe looking at the way the wind has treated the ball so far in this game, and Whitty being more of a kind of a line drive hitter than maybe a big, huge home run swinger, maybe that plays into it.
Whitty's not a big homer guy, and generally, like, if you want to be in a run-producing situation, I had this very same conversation with, like, the bottom half of our Yacker lineup. Oh, wow, just flips it out there.
Really nice job by Jones. That's going to be an easy single. And Hounds in business here. Runners on first and second with 1 out.
Could argue that walk strategy paid off, especially if Kobe does something with this. But it's just like, hey, guys, bottom of the lineup, the mentality should be if you don't have confidence in yourself to hit a slow pitch lob out, just take the walk. Because we're not here for singles, because then that's a win for them because they got the result that they should have gotten, a runner on first. Now, Whitty did hit a home run, I think a 3-run bomb in the
Well, Taylor, it's off the wall,
fence,
off the very
and it's
going
to pay off. They're going to get a run.
And a really big hit there from Taylor. It's been a frustrating afternoon for him, but an RBI single for Kobe. And it's a 3-0 game.
Kobe about did it, just exercising the demons.
Very close to breaking this game wide open. And here's Voris with just 1 out. Runners on the corners. Takes a strike.
So 1 out now.
Had to feel good for Taylor, who's made some good contact today, but that one was a really well-hit ball and very nearly got out of the yard. Smithy rallying back with 2 strikes. You had mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Rudy, that when he starts giving up hits or runs, he gets angrier and the velo maybe ratchets up a little bit.
Great pitch.
Big strikeout on 3 pitches as Voris down for the second out. And it'll be up to Whitty to see if he can add to the total.
And to reiterate, Voris is the guy you want up with a runner on third with less than 2 outs because he's just going to sprinkle it in play and hopefully force Jones in. So that's a big out, huge out to try to keep this deficit at 3 for the Moonshots.
That one hits the board.
So all that discussion about whether Whitty should have taken the walk or swing away, it's all, I guess, moot.
It ended up being a run score, so it ended up being the right decision.
That's I love that nuance or that difference between playoff wiffle and regular season wiffle. I was like, you paid your league fees, you're here to hit. Swing away, I don't care what order you are, what your skill level is, like, go get yours. But in playoffs, it's like you got to really think through it and just have a team discussion about not being selfish.
Woody swung through a riser on that second to last pitch and then barely held off on that one to stay alive at 2-2. Swing and a miss there. Smithy gets out of the inning, but another run tacked on for the Hounds. We're through 5, 3 outs away from a championship here on the ISC Sports Network.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Players down on the field here at the Dirtyard feeling the effects of the humidity, and 90 degrees here this afternoon is what it peaked out at here in the Indianapolis area. Mike Whitty trying to turn the Hounds into first-time champions here in Circle City Wiffle Ball.
What would the headline be? Hounds, top dogs? Is that a groaner?
It's a Jim Nance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Look, I don't hate it. But
hello, friends.
Yeah, can we do something better than top dogs?
Please.
I feel like we did top dogs with all the UConn
Georgia football.
Yeah, top dog. Dog eat dog world. But what a run. And look, we still have 3 outs to go, but what a run it would be, a capper to a season that just kind of came out of nowhere for this
Indy
Hounds
is
team.
Hound Town?
I do like that better.
Hound Town, okay.
As Alex Gertchev swings through strike one.
As opposed to Pound Town?
Yeah, I probably want to avoid that one.
Yeah. Oh. Good play by the ball boy there. Tristan Dudas, adopted son of Commissioner Dudas.
Gertchev did hit a homer in the bottom of the 6th in Game 2, which kind of sparked the rally as he was rounding third, imploring his teammates, hey, let's go. And then Smithy added a couple of homers, and Tyler Gregory walked it off. And here we are in Game 3, but it's do or die time now. Whitty hits the board looking, and Gertchev
big head pin
goes
out
down
there.
On strikes. 0 for 4 and 4 Ks.
Good spot to be in there, getting through, like starting off the inning with the 3-4 guys. And if you can just find, and that bonus run, that third run is huge.
Yeah, because now, worst case scenario, you're facing Smithy with one on, right? Or you avoid the game tying situation.
At this point, yeah, you can get one runner on ahead of Smithy or Gregory, but getting 2 on to hopefully tie it up with a homer, that just seems like a very tall task.
It's definitely looking bleak with the way that Whitty has been pitching, but Downell was right on top of that
He's
one.
been taking good cuts in this game, just hasn't been able to square one up or put it in play yet.
2-strike count here, though.
Ooh, took some off.
And a good take there from Dowden. It'd be hard to take anything with the way that the movement has gone so far, and his propensity for hitting the board is Whitty. That one's strike 3. Or sorry, 3-2. Sorry, strike 2. Sorry about that.
Ooh, great take.
That one just misses.
Yeah, give credit. I know, yes, takes a lot of walks, but you earn it. Like, you know the zone really well. And I think Dylan knows the zone top to bottom. There you go.
Miss. So Dowden is on. That's an important base runner for the Moonshots, but they need more than just one.
22 walks now on the season.
Smithy steps up to the plate. If I'm not mistaken, they have only faced one lob situation. It was Dowden in Game 1, correct?
Man,
I
haven't been paying close enough attention. You might be right.
On both sides today, we have
Yes.
barely seen any lob situations,
Yeah.
which really is a departure from the Dirtyard Classic last year. Big swing and a miss there from Smithy.
That's kind of what we thought was going to happen. I know I teased that the pitching across the board in this league has just taken a huge step up this year. Guys figuring it out, so to speak, especially Mike Whitty. And, yeah, there were double-digit lob scenarios in last year's Classic. Not the case today.
Smithy swinging through 2 that didn't hit the board, which shows just how good Whitty has been in this game, because it's very rare that Will Smithy would do that.
Good
Holds
take.
up there, really good take. And you see Whitty starting to stretch a little bit. I mean, he's barely been tested in these 2 games.
3-2 here.
Game on the line.
Smithy would, if he gets to a lob situation, he's got 2 strikes on him. Another great take. I'm very curious if they would try to swing away, because like Will can go deep on anybody. I think he would swing away if he hits the ball 5. Wow. Hits the pipe. It was low, but it was well enough located to look good.
Smithy knows.
Huge out.
Swing and a miss, and a really big strikeout there for Mike Whitty.
And the goal here for T-Greg, just try to put bat on ball, see if something good happens. It's been a tough sledding for him against Whitty today.
And if you look at, if the Hounds end up getting this final out, and if you look at how it went down, they really controlled Will Smithy today outside of that 6th inning in Game 2. They kept him pretty much off the bases and certainly off of hitting balls over the wall. But then again, he got into 2 in this game, in Game 3 here, and both of them just died when they got in the air.
Yes.
Long singles, both of them.
Down to their final strike. This is the flashbulb moment, folks.
Let's see if Whitty can do it here. He's carried him this far. It's been an amazing June, July, and August. Let's see if he can cap it off. That one hit right to Whitty. Can he hold on to it? He does! And the Hounds are your 2023 Circle City Wiffle Ball and Dirtyard Classic champions. Fitting way for it to end, Rudy, with Mike Whitty corralling the ball on the mound. What an afternoon, both at the plate and on the bump.
Honestly, maybe a little more fitting would have been hearing the pound of the board there at the end, considering how many he had. But yes, collecting the ball in the circle, the center of the field, center of attention, and getting the quasi-dog pile, hound pile.
Dylan Jones accepts the trophy. He's holding it in the photos, and we're going to hang a new banner out in left center field because the Hounds are your first-time champions here of the Circle City Wiffle Ball League. We'll come back, recap the Dirtyard Classic. Also, we'll talk to the hero of the afternoon in Mike Whitty when we come back for the post-game show here on ISC.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Hi there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we do Query and Schultz on ISC Sports Network. And Derek, unlike Ted Lasso, we have a 3rd season.
That's right. Season number 3 right now, iscsportsnetwork.com.
Are they doing a third
you can
season on
see
that show?
Episodes on Comcast 81 as well, Mondays at 7:30. I'm talking about our show, Jake, this beloved show that people tune into every single week. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, so many ways to watch Query and Schultz every Monday, 7:30. Tune in and hang out with us.
And you don't have to be a goldfish. You'll remember everything we say.
Welcome back to the Dirtyard. Alongside Rudy Lyon, I'm Derek Schultz, and as I mentioned, we're going to hang a new banner out there in left center field, in large part because of this man right here that's next to me, Mike Whitty. I'm assuming going to be the MVP of the Dirtyard Classic. A fantastic Game 1 in a 1-0 win with 19 strikeouts. 15 more strikeouts in Game number 2, a 3-0 shutout win, and an RBI single for good measure. Congratulations, Mike. What a season for you. What a season for the Hounds.
What a season for the Hounds. We started off terrible. We got perfect gamed, and then we got a 16K game right off the bat. And I found a pitch, and we rattled off a lot of wins in a row, it felt like. I mean, I don't know how many it was.
You guys started 2-6, and now with these 2 wins
13
today.
13-1?
13-2 with the walk-off.
Gotcha.
So 13-2 after starting 2-6. Pretty wild.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
My guy started hitting the ball.
Yeah.
That's really what it came down to. I mean, we knew that playing Smithy today, it was either we were going to hit a home run or we were going to have to go to Game 3 and hope that I could grind one out and he wouldn't be as sharp, and he was still just about as sharp. He just messed up just a couple times.
Wanted to mention a couple of your teammates, too, because as great as you were in this game, I think we have to talk about what DJ did in Game 2. And also, you guys mentally coming back from that loss, you were in control of that game really throughout, and then you give up 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th, a 14-13 walk-off loss. I saw you guys down here, and it didn't look like much talking was going on in between games. Was there anything said or anything to kind of rally the troops, or was it just about taking care of business?
I mean, we felt like we were in a good spot. Probably because we had won so many games in a row. We were really excited to play Game 3, but we were still on the edge of our seats because, I mean, 6 runs in bottom of an inning is pretty wild. DJ kept them intact for a long time. We thought the game was going to be out of hand, but they came and got it.
We played 3 full games of Wiffle, including an extra innings game, and all in all, Will Smithy only hit 2 balls out of the yard here. How much was that a key to the success today, just kind of keeping him in the ballpark?
Oh, I mean, that's always the biggest thing for anybody that comes out here is, I mean, we all know Will is by far the best player in the league, and we just try to limit him and hope that he doesn't do as well. But like you said, I mean, he crushed 2 balls off of me that I thought were no doubters, and then they came back.
Yeah, so. Topspin balls. Now, did you have a certain approach or a mindset against guys like Will and T-Greg? Because I don't know if you know this, T-Greg, up to that last ball that he put in play to get the last out, was 0 for 8 with 8 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So what was your approach to those top 2 hitters?
Well, I mean, definitely throughout our league, I feel like we have guys that can hit top to bottom, but we were very worried about we're always worried about the top 2 guys because the top 2 guys are there for a reason, right? And we just hope that we can limit their success, and today we did. So that's probably most of the reason why we won. I mean, going into the game, Will was hitting like something crazy, like 455 or something like that, and T-Greg was hitting 450. So we knew that if we wanted to win, they had to get out.
You and those 2 guys were all within .005 of the batting title, so I'm curious to see how the numbers shape out here, if there was like a Triple Crown winner, if you get the batting title because you had the slim lead. But
yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I know that I struck out a lot today because Will is really good.
That's the name of the game.
There were a lot of strikeouts out there today, and a lot of them came from your hand. But congratulations, Mike. What a season. What a way to end it. And really, really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Just an unbelievable performance from Mike Whitty, and a great afternoon of wiffle ball here at the Dirtyard. For Rudy Line, I'm Derek Schultz. Thanks to our great ISC crew, and thanks to you guys at home. It's the Hounds, the new champions of Circle City Wiffle Ball and the Dirtyard Classic. They are your 2023 title winners, and they're going to have their banner out there in left field the next time we're back here at this awesome ballpark. For Rudy Line, I'm Derek Schultz. Thanks so much for tuning in here on the ISC Sports Network.
Babe.